What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I'm going to apologize to you. I seen this story Saturday morning and forgot to report on it. But this story right here is out of Mount Vernon, New York. Shout out Mount Vernon. And New York's one of those places where you see or hear some crazy stories, you know, involving crime a lot of times. And I want to introduce you to somebody. This right here is crazy as can be. See this guy here? This guy's name is Louis Soto. This guy was recently arrested for doing something vile to a child. But that's not the premise of this video. What he did after he was taken into custody on his way to the jailhouse is what this video is about. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy up here was put in a van with, I think, a transport van with 4 other inmates heading towards jail, right? He was arrested on the street. This guy pulled a gun from between his butt cheeks and shot another inmate in the van during transport. Now, he done went to court twice, and I'm going to show you both times and let you see the story. But this right here is crazy. And I can guarantee you a hell of a lawsuit is coming, in addition to these 2 officers that were transporting them that are in hot water. Take a look at this craziness.
Suspected gun smuggler Louis Soto walked into Mount Vernon court Friday night under heavy security. Only Pix 11 was there for his second trip in front of Judge Tamika Cloverdale in 24 hours.
He does pose an extreme flight risk.
Thursday, the same judge ordered him to the county lockup for child sex abuse charges. Soto was then handcuffed and loaded into this prisoner transport van with 4 other prisoners by Mount Vernon police officers. Remarkably, sources say Soto managed to stash a .22 caliber revolver in his buttocks the entire time, and while en route to jail, allegedly shot a fellow prisoner in the leg.
The officers reported hearing a single gunshot from the rear of the van. The officers immediately returned to police headquarters, where additional department personnel assisted in safely offloading the prisoners.
The Mount Vernon Police Department in Westchester County launching a joint investigation into how Soto slipped the gun past so many layers of security since his arrest October 15th. Sources say it's possible he had it hidden on him in the courtroom too.
So all them times they never patted him down? That weapon was still on him? That's irresponsible, unacceptable.
Outrage from the community as the department overhauls its search protocol for all inmates again.
The use of the department's magnetometer handheld wand is now mandatory for all new prisoner processings. The use of it was optional previously.
The 2 officers directly involved have been put on desk duty, while the 32-year-old Bronx man said nothing as he was remanded to jail once more on the gun charges.
Based upon these charges and also what occurred yesterday, as such, he is going to be remanded.
It's unclear if the shooting was intentional or accidental. The victim is still in the hospital recovering, and Soto has been ordered to stay away from him until his next court date. Well, sources are telling me tonight that gun was stashed in this prisoner's buttocks, and he managed to get into this prisoner transport van undetected after he saw a judge. And now 2 police officers are in the hot seat, and another prisoner is in the hospital tonight with that gunshot wound to the leg. Now, within the last 10 minutes, the suspect, Louis Soto, went before a judge for the 2nd night in a row. Pix 11 cameras were the only ones inside of the courtroom. You see him as he was brought in with his hands behind his back under heavy security. He was remanded into custody, and he is now going to be sent back to the Westchester County Jail tonight, 24 hours after this harrowing incident unfolded. The shooting happened while the prisoners were being brought to the jail inside of a Mount Vernon police transport van, 7 o'clock last night. Officials say that the person was shot by a fellow prisoner who'd smuggled the gun into the vehicle on his body. As cops heard the shot go off mid-ride, they turned around, raced back here to police headquarters, where 5 prisoners were offloaded and secured. Police say Louis Soto was the man who had the loaded .22 caliber revolver. But how it got past multiple layers of security is what's being investigated right now. Soto's a 32-year-old Bronx man who had been arrested on Wednesday initially for allegedly sexually assaulting a minor. Now he's facing multiple charges related to the shooting. As a result, police are overhauling their security protocols, knowing full well how much more serious this could have been.
He seen the judge reprimanded him to Valhalla. So that means he stood before the judge with the weapon on him. He got in the transport van with the weapon on him. So all them times they never patted him down, that weapon was still on him. That's unresponsible, unacceptable.
The use of the department's magnetometer handheld wand is now mandatory for all new prisoner processings. The use of it was optional previously.
Well, prior to this, the Mount Vernon Police Department was under scrutiny due to a DOJ investigation about unlawful strip searches here at the police department. But now another overhaul is underway as 2 police officers have been put on desk duty while the investigation continues. Live in Mount Vernon, I'm Anthony DiLorenzo, Pix 11 News.
All right, guys, you've seen it. Damn. Now, it's bad enough he was locked up for doing something bad to a little kid, if you know what I'm talking about. That in itself is death penalty material to me. But this guy snuck a gun in his ass onto the thing. How did they not catch that? Now, they supposed to search you and open, you know, have you spread your legs and open. This motherfucker right here, man, must have had buns of steel. And I can prove it. You know what I'm saying? When you getting in them vans, I only been in them once. You get in them vans and you handcuff, usually you handcuff from behind. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if they had him handcuffed from the front, but either way, don't matter where his hands was at. Anybody that's been locked up, those vans, you got to step up on that metal grate and then get up in there. How did he make that step without that gun falling? Unless he had on tighty whities or some shit like that, but might be the case. But either way, damn, you got a loaded .22 handgun in your behind. And you get in there and then you shoot somebody in the van. I don't know if it was somebody that was associated with the crime or what, but he fired one time and blasted my man in there. They said they heard it and they ran right back to the they beeline to the station. And took him in. Now, evidently, I don't think he was arrested. You know, I mean, when he was arrested, they probably just arrested him. But, like, he had to be searched a couple of times because I think they were taking him, looking back at it now, with other inmates or other people in there, he'd be taken from one jail to another. But either way, man, this is just crazy. People do not fear the justice system. You know what I'm saying? And they don't fear getting in more trouble after they already are in, you know, knee deep in the bullshit that they created for themselves. This is one of the wildest stories because, I mean, damn, you already caught doing something. That's one case you got to fight. Now here comes some other shit that you caught up in. And this dude that got shot, regardless of what he did, he has viable reason to file a lawsuit. And he will win this because he went where they put him at to no fault of his own. Either way, man, this whole thing is crazy, man. You never know. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I will see you in the next video. The dumb get dumber and the rich get richer.